Peace, peace, peace. Introduction to Spiritual Ascension Part 1. Spiritual ascension is important during these times right now because, you know, we living in a day of time right now where, it's all about taking your power away from you. And essentially the only way that you gonna make it through this is spiritually. You gotta be on a high level spiritually. All right, you gotta gain back your spiritual power to make it past this thing. All right, so spiritual ascension is a shift in paradigm. It's really initiation. All right, it's really initiation, but it's a shift in paradigm. So everything is gonna change. Your mind, your body, and your soul. Everything is gonna change, and through this change in your world is gonna change. All right, and this is why spiritual masters change the world. Okay, and this is why spiritual masters are threats, because of the power that they hold and how they can change the fabric of reality. So just to list some basic key components to spiritual ascension is spiritual ascension, the first thing that really must be tackled is your diet. Your diet gotta be right. You can't be on a high junk food diet. You can't be on a high meat diet. You dig what I'm saying? You can't be on a high meat diet, and you gotta know when to cut the meat off. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna cut the meat off forever, you gotta know how to go without it for certain periods of time. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a book you can get by Leadbeater about the vegetarian diet, and I've been studying what they call the occult, but there really is no such thing as the occult, you know what I mean? But I've been studying what they call the occult, and I've been studying and reading works of spiritual gurus, and at this particular time, you know, I got a lot of information under my belt, and one of the main key components in this thing is diet and vegetarianism. All right, and more recently, what's become more popular today is what you call plant-based or veganism. I just say plant-based, but yeah, veganism, because the information upgrades itself. A lot of the people, back in the day, they truly believed long as they wasn't eating meat, they still partook in milk and maybe eggs and things of that nature, and maybe cheese and whatever the case may be, but things upgrade as time move on. But when you look at ancient works on ritual, and I spoke about this before, it's always required that for the time being that you don't consume any meat. All right, because there are actual rituals that comes down from thousands and thousands of years ago on gaining your higher self, gaining your spiritual guide, gaining your what they call your archangel, or your guardian angel, and all of these different things, or becoming Heru, or becoming the Christ. These things happen through rituals. All right, and one of the prerequisites is to not consume meat. Okay, and what would be the science behind that? Well, some of it will be that it's actually just bad for you. it's actually just bad for you. And so, you know, consuming bad things is going to create blockages for you to access light in this physical vessel. You know. So another thing, and just to remind y'all, this is an introduction. All right, this is an introduction. And another thing is spiritual research. You know, you have a lot of people banging on religion, but the thing about religion is you gotta have the right mindset before you dig into the religion. And so gaining spiritual ascension can really come through studying all spiritual systems. I'm talking about the Bible, the Apocryphal books, the Quran, ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, Sumer, Babylon, Hindu, Sindhu, you know, the ancient Chinese, everything that's out there, the Olmecs, you know, you have to study it all. You have to study it all. You can't be, you know, you can't have a one-track mind to where you think that whatever you studying is the end all be all. It don't work like that, because everything is connected. All right, and you might find an ingredient or something that you need somewhere else that you're not getting in another place. So you got to be ready to study everything. You got to be ready to study everything. Another prerequisite, you're going to have to learn to control the sexual force, the sexual nature. All right, you can't be, you got to mature, and you got to understand that at this particular time you're becoming more spiritual. So, you know, you're not going to always, or for a particular time, at least for a particular time, you have to go through a situation to where your mind is set on a certain mode spiritually, to where you're not focusing on carnal pleasures. All right, you're not focusing on the carnal pleasures. You're not focusing on, you know, shorty with the fatty and all of that, and just trying to get out here and just run amok. You know what I mean? Like you kind of gonna have to vibrate higher than that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to vibrate higher than that, because sex is a spiritual act. So essentially, it should be done with your spiritual partner. All right, and your spiritual partner should be your female or male version of yourself. All right, because in all actuality, the man and the woman becomes one. The man and the woman becomes one only through the union with each other. All right, the man and the woman becomes one only through the union with each other. And this is why, you know, high levels of spiritual mastery can't be done without the significant other. All right, because this is a part of it. You know, that's a part of it. That's a piece. You know, that's a piece, and that's a component of that ascension. You see? But it's levels to your spiritual ascension. So if you're not at that space right now, that's not to say that you know, you don't have a shot. No, it's levels to this. You work your way up. You dig what I'm saying? You work your way up, and you know, you cover the parts and the pieces that's available to you at this particular moment. Do everything that you can do. You dig what I'm saying? And what's another component to spiritual ascension? So you got to understand the power that you have. So you got to start thinking. You got to start controlling your thoughts. You have to become the master of your own mind, the master of your own mental, because things are going to happen in life that's going to challenge your mind, and it's going to challenge your spiritual power. And the physical reality may start trying to show you something may start trying to show you something, all right? But you have to believe in what you want and where you want to see things to go, all right? Which creates your reality, all right? But sometimes reality challenges you, and you got to remember that. You can't get challenged by reality and just give up and just think this don't work, think this not real, think that you don't have the power to control your reality. No, you're being challenged. Everything don't come easy, so you got to control your thoughts. You got to understand that your thoughts control your reality. Your thoughts make your reality. You got to understand this, all right? That's another part of spiritual ascension. It's understand the power of your mind, the power of the subconscious mind, and the power of your own thoughts, all right? Trying to make this brief before I get up out of here. Excuse my hair. I'm trying to get the dreads popping off, man. I got them twisted up last week, but my hair is so curly. And I worked out one day, and it went to hell after that. So I'm gonna have to get them redone. I ain't gonna give up on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get them redone though. It's looking crazy right now, but it's all good. So where we at? Let's wrap this thing up. Let's wrap this thing up. Meditation. Of course you should know that meditation is a prerequisite for spiritual ascension. All right? Because you gotta learn to quiet the mind. You got to learn to quiet the mind. You got to learn to quiet the thoughts, all right? Some people don't even really know what meditation really is. And meditation is actually focusing on a thing, So there's different forms of meditation, right? Like in Kabbalah, a form of meditation is visualizing the Hebrew alphabet and black fiery letters. All right, which is a very potent meditation, might I add. I got some stories behind that, but I don't really care to go into them here. All right, but if anybody out there is into that school of thought, you should know about what type of things could take place. Y'all hear that? Soon as I even start talking about it, y'all hear that? Y'all should know about what type of things that could take place to let you know that something is here and something is being happened in the fabric of reality. You are touching the fabric of reality when you do that meditation. Trust me. But anyways, meditation is essential because you gotta quiet the mind. You gotta quiet the thoughts. All right, and you gotta go into yourself. You gotta get inside of yourself. You know what I mean? But it's really all about quieting the mind and quieting the thoughts and going into that darkness. You know what I mean? Going into that darkness. You know what I'm saying? Going into that empty space. Because even on the Sephiroth, even on the tree, Keter is no thing. You know what I'm saying? That's no thing. And in the Book of Formations in the Sefer Yetzirah, it talks about going and returning. All right, so when you're talking about meditation and things of that nature, now you're getting into a mystical experience. All right, you get into a mystical experience, like a form of meditation. Is focusing on a certain thing. You could be focusing on water. You could be meditating at the beach or at the lake and just watching the way that the water is moving and things of that nature. So it's different forms of meditation, but this is a mystical experience. So when you're dealing with mystical experiences, mystical experience is going to be unique to that individual. All right. All right. And then from there, you can get into astral projection. All right. You can get into astral projection, which I don't talk about a lot. Which I don't talk about a lot because it's something that I never done. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I never really sat down and astral project. Where I felt like I left my body, but I do believe it. I just never done it. But people have had outer death experiences. Where they left their body, they see their body and things of that nature. And a lot of times this happen when people have a near death experience. So I do believe that it's possible. But spiritual ascension, it's initiation, and you start to understand the more about who you are as a spiritual being, and you learn more about this physical reality and how you can move in it. It's not the end all be all. It's just an initiation. There's always higher levels to obtain in this plane of reality and in your existence. All right. And your spiritual assistance is just the beginning of the journey. You feel me? So this is just the introduction, part 1, and I'll be back. And please subscribe to the channel. Please thumbs up the video. You know what I'm saying? Please show love. You know what I'm saying? Please show love. You dig? And peace, y'all.